Through the Nightmares. Is this a masochist dream or a living nightmare? Let's find out. In this game, you play as the Sandman, a guardian spirit who is thrust into the nightmare world to rescue children from the corrupt deity Morpheus. There are 45 levels set across 3 chapters. You need to complete these levels to collect memories. Some of these levels have multiple collectibles on them that are optional extras, but is a great additional challenge to collect them. Using your skill set, you have to shrink, jump, stomp and roll your way across this world whilst trying to pick up memories and personal items to save the children. The levels are beautifully crafted. The art style is reminiscent of the 16-bit 2D platformers. It reminds me of Little Nightmares or Inside, where the 2D platformer meets 2.5D animation. It's got clever level design and hidden areas with collectibles and other Easter eggs. Outside of teaching you the major buttons, you have to figure puzzles out and how new elements work within the game yourself. There's no major hand-holding, which is a wonderful throwback to how games used to be in the early 90s. The game features a great unique checkpoint system, in which you can choose where to create a checkpoint using a special in-level item. However, you are rewarded for completing the level without using the checkpoint item, as it counts towards your collectibles goal. The game runs very well, with no noticeable frame rate drops. This means it plays buttery smooth and exactly how you want a tricky, fast-paced platformer to play. I played it on the Switch 2, using version 1.0, however there is now a patched live version for 1.01, which I believe fixes a cutscene early on in the prologue. The controls are sharp and responsive. That means it's satisfying. As you control the Sandman around various puzzles and levels, there are a few frustrations with timing certain obstacles, especially the new ones. However, as you get used to how the obstacles behave, you realise it's a user timing error rather than issues with the way the game plays. With that being said, there are some annoyances. Some of the levels on World 2 have got spiders on them. They are very unpredictable. That's probably the most polite thing I can say about them, and I'm happy to see the back of them. However, getting past these unpredictable spiders is very rewarding. You go into a couple of levels afterwards that are absolutely incredible, and mixed in with the music, the ambience. One of the levels reminds me of the swimming level from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the NES. It is just a wonderful, wonderful game after you get past the art with very frustrating spider issue. It's a stunning take on how simple art combined with shadow can be very effective. In the levels, this looks great. However, I do feel that outside of the levels, on the chapter overview, and at the end of the levels when you're looking at some of the memories, they have failed to recreate that magic. These art styles sometimes look completely different to the in-level design. It looks like a design choice, and the team haven't used the same shadows for these parts of the game. Ultimately, it's so you can probably see the memories more clearly, however, it does leave them looking a little flat. The music and the sound effects are fantastic. Though the dying sound can be very repetitive, as you might die quite a lot, the sound is rich, haunting, and timed really well, which helps you immersify yourself into the dream world. Like all enjoyable game soundtracks, there's a lovely familiar feeling in your ears as a track loops back around at a certain point of your adventure. Through the Nightmares is available on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, the Nintendo Switch, which is cross-compatible with the Switch 2, and Steam from the 19th of June. It's around 6 to 10 hours long for the main story, and for completionists I would say allow another 4 to 5 hours to get all the items. If you're a fan of 90s platformers or games such as Celeste, Inside, Limbo, Little Nightmares, this one's definitely worth checking out.